Hello, everyone. This is Chava with Nettles and Pins. I'm here today with Yardena Slater from Yofified. Is that how I say it?
Yeah, Yofified.
So, Yardena's in the Jerusalem area of Israel, and she's come up with this amazing new business, and I wanted her to tell us all about it and how she got started. So I'm going to hand it over to Yardena, and she'll tell us who she is and how she even got into this face yoga.
Okay, so hi. And I actually got started as a detox specialist, if you remember, way back when I went to West Florida to learn with Dr. Robert Morris at the International School of Detox. And that was maybe 8 years ago. I was fascinated with like the fact that when your body is clean, it shows on the outside and it really affects your brain too, like your, foggy brain. And it was fascinating to me. So that's how I started. And that was going really good. I did workshops and one-on-ones and classes and all over Yerushalayim, people's homes and in old age centers and whatever. And then at 45 and a half, I had another baby. So that was 3.5 years ago, and I kind of had to take a break after that and be with the baby, and it is a little bit different when you have a baby at 45. And I took a break, and I really started thinking about my business because there was something that was always missing for me, meaning I didn't feel 100% passionate and comfortable helping people with like crazy disease and stuff like that. So I really took time to hone in, and I realized also because of a class that I took, a series of classes where she kind of talked about the Ezer Kenegdo as opposed to the Eshes Chayil. You often hear people talking about Eshes Chayil and what that means, but you don't hear so much about the Ezer Kenegdo, in my opinion, and it really got me thinking because the Ezer Kenegdo I learned is, first of all, the Ezer has the word Oz in it, which is a spiritual, that word means power, but it actually means a spiritual power, but also like it's a strength. It's like a bravery type of power. And then the Kenegdo is that she's a helper opposite her husband, which means he actually cannot accomplish his mission in this world without her being Kenegdo. So this thing was fascinating to me. And I did a lot of research on it. And I came to this conclusion that if that's our main role in the world, is basically being cheerleaders, empowerers, and influencers. The women are the influencers for sure for their husband, for sure their families, but really for the whole world. And it's not just Jewish, this is for all women. So I was like, shouldn't we look the part? Like we need to look the part. Not just when we're in our 20s and 30s, but 40s, 50s, and beyond. We always need to look the part. Now, I'm not talking about Hollywood beauty, Hollywood standards, looking forever 21. I'm just talking about looking healthy and radiant. And that is inspiring because it means that you've been working on yourself and you've been doing self-care, and that inspires people. So I got like more and more fascinated and obsessed with it. And I noticed from having my baby at 45 and a half that it was exhausting. And one day I really noticed that my face fell. Like it really, like all of a sudden I really noticed those changes. And I was like, oh, I really need to do something about this. So I just came upon face yoga, and with the whole background, it just really matched for me. It was a good match. And so I started studying it with a place in London called the Danielle Collins Face Yoga Method. And back in, let's say, January, I set a date to take the test. It was a practical exam and a written exam for March 20th. And as it turned out, March 20th was Erev Pesach, everybody's home, lockdown, the world is coming to an end, possibly, who knows. And I almost like didn't do it. It was so overwhelming for me. But I was like, I'm doing this and I'm starting this. And so that was March 20th. And then I realized I can't do the old thing, like how I used to do workshops and classes and in person. Who knows when I'm going to be able to do that, if ever. So I needed to like rework it towards a more like digital type of teaching, which I am working on. And here I am. Yeah, it's, what is it, 2 or 3 months later. I've been having some, you know, Zoom one-on-ones, and I do have a live class next week. And I do have a digital product coming out in July. So,
Wow. So
yeah.
you are, when you're working with one-on-one with someone, you're showing them the methods and how you're actually doing the, what is it called? The yoga, you know, what do you call it? I don't even know.
Yeah, the face exercises. Yeah. So yeah, the way it works when I sit down with somebody, first they fill out like a form, a health form, where I just need to know a little bit about their lifestyle and how old they are and all that stuff, and what their goal and vision is for themselves, and if they even have one, because you have to have that first and foremost. So I get to know them a little bit beforehand through the form, and then we sit down and we go through the face yoga, but also it has to be lifestyle, like the food, what are you drinking, when are you going to sleep. I teach them a little bit about that. And what I convey, like the main aspect of this whole thing, is that your neck and face has 57 muscles in there. And just like we work out the body to become toned and strong, you know, and fit, it's the same thing with the neck and the face. When we exercise these muscles, they become toned and they lift, because gravity does do its job on us, and our face does fall. And it's funny because people put a lot of time into their bodies, but when you meet somebody, the first thing you see is their face, and we don't exercise our face. But really, it's more than just exercising the face. It includes massage, face shiatsu, energy work on the face, and relaxation. And all of them together work to exercise the face, to drain the lymph, and to relax the face. And then, like, you really, all of a sudden, you really can take years off the face. It's really amazing. It really works. So that's what we do. We go through the exercises, and we go through, I give them like an anti-aging guide to take home, 21 days of what you're going to eat, all the tools, the skin brushing, the armpit detox, all these different things. They don't have to do all of it, but I'm just giving it to them, and you know, they follow it as best they can. And they get, this is what I'm coming out with in July, they get a video, like a link to a video where they have a 10-minute daily morning face yoga workout. And then at night, it's a 7-minute workout, which is more like the massage, the energy work, the relaxation. And you don't even have to do them both every day, but as long as you do one every day, you see, depending on, you know, how old you are and all those factors, you could see results as quickly as 2 weeks, or, you know, several weeks, but you do see results. You just need consistency.
So you do need so it's something that you do have to do at least once a day, or like what if you forget, and 3 days later, a week later, like how does it,
Yeah,
it just take longer?
right. Yeah. And we all have that. Like, it's so hard to give just a few minutes, you know.
Right.
If you're basically consistent, or let's say you started out really consistent, you were really inspired, and then you kind of got like swept away with life, and then you came back to it, your skin and muscles, they do have a memory, you know. So the minute you exercise them again after, let's say, even 2 weeks of not having, but because you were doing it for a while, you'll see right away, like the tone will come back. So it's okay. We're women, we're busy, we're influencers, we're, you know, all that stuff. So it's fine. It can work even if you're not super consistent, but there has to be, you know, some level of consistency.
How would you suggest someone getting started, like even just trying it for themselves? What would be like even just like the mind body connect, like just kind of take a break and take 10 minutes for yourself, or like how, or would you start, massaging and how to get started? The first simplest thing.
Okay, so first of all, it's definitely not just exercise. This is self-care, okay? Because think about it, many people spend thousands on facelifts, on Botox, on all these other just to get that lifted look, just to feel pretty and good about themselves. So this is self-care. And honestly, the natural look, the radiant look, the healthy look is so much better than any perfection that surgery or injections can give you. I mean, you can't even compare. So you have to think of it like that. I'm going to give myself self-care, exercise, feel good about myself, look good. This is part of my role in life. So I think that's the mindset. And then you can really, I think, even in 2 minutes, this is what, okay, I would say like this. If you don't want to get started with a whole like 10-minute regimen or even a 5-minute, you can stop throughout the day, let's say 3 or 4 times throughout the day. Stop what you're doing, take a 1-minute break, and just to get that more triangular shape to your face, as opposed to like, when your face falls and it just becomes like more of the pyramid shape, you could just stop for a minute and tilt your head back and then just like smooth your neck down, this type of thing. And you could do that like 3 times, each time like smooth it down 8 times. And then you could finish it off by still tilting your head back, but jutting out your lower lip like this and holding it. And that, you see, like right away you get this stretch. And if you just do it a few times a day, you anyway take breaks. So just put in 1 minute for this and you'll see everything gets really tight and toned. So that's how you can start. That's how I started. I just started doing some things here and there for like this area, and then I got more into it.
Wow. So how does it fit in? You mentioned a little bit about food and exercise and that whole, if someone's like, they haven't gotten there yet, can they just start this, or should they start maybe with diet change, or like where should along the line, how important is this part?
Right. Okay. The food and the drink does make a huge difference. Your skin is made out of what you eat and drink. There's no way to go around that. But no, you could start like this. Start doing some exercises, and honestly, it's more about stop doing the bad stuff, like the sur mera, stop the processed food, or decrease or stop processed food, sugary food. I've noticed that over 40, the foods with gluten, like the flour-based foods, the cakes and the crackers and everything, they just age you. It just ages you. Today's wheat is not the wheat of 50 years ago, and it just really does a job on you. So if you could just, or stop like the iced coffees and the sugary drinks, they age you so much. So if you could just like stop a few things and add a couple of exercises, you're good to go.
Awesome. So, is this would it be considered a replacement for exercise, or it's in addition to, like exercises from here down and then the face yoga is from here up, or are they kind of blend together?
No, it's in addition to. It's really nice that we exercise and we have to exercise. But if you think about it, we exercise to be healthy, but also to look good. Like women inherently, and Chazal talk about this, their nature is to want to look good. They want to be admired. The men are the opposite. They want to look. The women want to be looked at. So it's in our nature. And so it makes sense to work a little bit on the face and not just to cover it up, with makeup. The makeup is fine, but we can do a little bit more. So, yeah, there's the body exercise and the face exercise. And the face, because the muscles on the face are so tiny, it doesn't take a lot to get them toned and in shape. So it's just a few minutes a day, unlike the body that needs at least, 25, 30 minutes a day.
So we talked about a little bit the Botox and all the surgeries, plastic surgery, whatever people dump money into just for that look.
Yeah.
Can you go through maybe a few points of, there's that, and then there's the face yoga and the natural, like the pros and cons maybe, or maybe there aren't any cons over here, besides the money that is dumped into it. And this can be done at home, right? Like maybe a little bit difference between the two.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that it's pretty obvious, most of it to most people, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Plastic surgery and, the Botox shots and I don't know, everything else that people do. This stuff costs a lot of money. You have to go there. It's definitely very time consuming. It doesn't last forever, and it gives you a frozen, unnatural look, which at the end of the day is not attractive. And that's what we're really shooting for. It's not just the tight face and, the perfect whatever. We want to look attractive. And there's something about that look that's not attractive, in my opinion. So also with the Botox, if you do it a little bit too often, that stuff doesn't leave your face. So at some point you look like there's like Play-Doh in your face. It just begins to look ridiculous, So it's just not a viable option long term. This kind of stuff.
What do you mean it doesn't leave your face? Your body doesn't break it down and get rid of it?
Those fillers, the body, it's very hard for the body to break down something that's so unnatural for it to break down. So no, a lot of it doesn't leave the face. I don't want to mention any names, but there are some older like celebrities or, famous people who clearly have done it a lot, and they just, the look is ridiculous, in my opinion. It doesn't leave your face. So at some point, you can really tell who's done what, and it doesn't look that natural. On the other hand, with the face yoga, okay, you do have to put in a few minutes every day. It is a commitment, to some extent. So I guess that's the con, but really it's not, because this is what we're here to do. We're here to work. This is the world of like action. So it's okay. We can give a few minutes to this kind of work. It definitely is a more natural, beautiful look. And beyond doing the exercises and getting that natural, like, lift and the glow with, eating the right foods, I think when somebody makes a commitment to working out and being healthy, there's a spiritual beauty that emanates from them. This is a committed person. This is a person who's like out there doing work in all, not just here, in all different aspects. It shows. It's in your energy. It's like a good energy, So, I think, it costs a lot less. It costs almost nothing. I mean, if you were to do a class or a one-on-one, okay, then it's just you and the mirror. So it's definitely much more
that energy that you're talking about. The more you emanate that energy, as you're affecting all of those around you, and then they're picking up on that, and there's just positives going on and on and on. And right now, God forbid, all this horrible stuff that's happening in the world, this is what we need, right? I mean, do you see this fitting into kind of uplifting all this heavy darkness that's around us? Because it sounds like so amazing if you're putting it on someone else and then they pass it on to someone else, as we're all just doing good stuff. That's what it looks like.
Of course. Yeah, 100%. So here's the thing. Yeah, again, you're the influencer in your home. That's first and foremost. And then you don't have to say anything. The fact that you do self-care and you work on yourself, it's just in your energy. They breathe it in, and then it affects them, and they're going to work on themselves in some way. But also, there's a few like Chazal sayings that I think are very nogea to what you just said, that really made an influence on me. There's B'schus nashim tzidkanios nigalu Israel, right? In the merit of the righteous women, Israel will be redeemed. And there's also that a man without a woman, is, it says, lelo tova lelo ezer, lelo simcha, lelo bracha, lelo kapara. Like, you know, he is without a woman. He is without good. He is without help. He's without happiness. He's without blessing, and he has no atonement. That is, you know, that's a really, really big thing. And so if we're all about that, then we have so much power. We have such an incredible ability to influence people. We have a spiritual power, we have a physical power, and absolutely the women, it says, that means the women are going to be the ones who are the truth seekers, who are going to see beyond the bubble, beyond the shaker. And again, if you're going to go out there and do that kind of battle, you have to make a good impression. You have to look the part. When people go to, you know, the whole like, oh, that's so vain. It doesn't, when you go to a job interview, when you go to a simcha, you make sure to look good. This is the same thing. You're out there doing battle. So yeah, we are, it's Chazal say it, we're going to be the ones in our merit. And it's not just because we're doing nothing. We're going to have to, look, I have a lot of friends now in America texting me, we really want to come to Israel. It's time to leave. But my husband, you know, he's too like stuck in the bubble of he has the job and how can we leave and all that stuff. But the women see through it. So again, we're the ones who are going to somehow move it all forward. And we absolutely can do it through our energy and our actions. And yeah, we need to look the part.
So let's move to this Corona thing now that you've brought it up. We were headed in one direction, and then all of a sudden we got, you know, something blew up in our path, and now we're all headed to a different direction. Some see it as the old world breaking down and a new one emerging. Mm-hmm. How did it affect you, either personally or with your, like you said, now you're doing Zoom one-on-one because there's no meetings and all that. But other than that, how did it affect you emotionally? Maybe you all of a sudden saw something new. You know, did something spark? I've seen this just over and over. People are like, you know, and then all of a sudden, and now they see something completely different, and either their lives took a change, or their relationship took a change, or their business took a change, or how did it affect you?
Okay, that's a great question. I definitely saw it. First and foremost, I was like, uh-oh, Hashem is stepping up the game. Big time for the entire world. So, and I definitely saw it intuitively as it's the next step in the redemption process. Mashiach coming, you know, people say we need Mashiach now. It's not a thing of from today to tomorrow. It's a process. The Geula, the redemption, and Mashiach coming, it's all an unfolding. And it has to be that way because when Mashiach comes and we see the actual truth, it's going to be so shocking that it can't be in the snap of a finger. We slowly have to like get there and understand certain things before Mashiach comes. So I definitely saw it as an unfolding. This is a huge unfolding. A lot of things became more apparent. The truth, certain truth things became more apparent to me. And one of them was having the kids at home, because I definitely know about homeschooling. I've looked into it. I never thought like it's something that's even viable. It wasn't in my sphere of things that I would actually do. But then the kids came home and we got into a certain routine. And my 3-year-old, my little baby that I had, so when he started kindergarten this year, within the first week, he started stuttering. It was just a big, he went from like a private kindergarten that was very loving and small to like this big, like, you know, Gan Ironi with 30 kids. And he just started stuttering and became gradually worse and worse. And people started saying you have to take him to somebody. And I was like, why would I take him to somebody? I know it's an emotional thing. On the other hand, I have to do something about this. So then Corona came and he came home and it took 2 months, but gradually he completely stopped stuttering. So that was one thing. And also with my kids, I just saw that to actually influence them and get to their hearts and not just like have this sphere where we're just kind of like interacting, but we're not really sharing like our heart, and we're not really, influencing them like that. It was just so different. Like when they're just home, we could really like, me and my husband influence them much more with our vision of what we think, we and them should be in the world, which for us means, you have to be your own person. You can't just go with the flow and be like sheep mentality. Even in the firm world, we do live in a community, but you still have to be your own person. That's our value. And so we saw that it was this Corona thing was much more conducive to like really instilling our values in them and doing it in like a nice, chillaxed way. So that was the biggest thing I took from it, besides the fact that the unfolding of the redemption is really, really kicking into high gear. And there's a lot of work to do, a lot of tshuva, a lot of, just facing the music of the truth of what we're supposed to be doing and how we're supposed to be living. So yeah, definitely took me to the next level.
And how do you see that we should be doing this? I mean, more prayer, meditation, asking ourselves questions, like what is it that you has helped you?
For sure, there's, I think, a lot of tshuva, but really from the heart, to do in the Bein Adam Lechavero area. Like people are really good about keeping kosher and Shabbos and all those things, but then the Bein, and this is not my opinion. This is from the Torah shiurim that I was watching. That's what was said and what really made sense to me. Like it's time to not just go and apologize to somebody. That's not even the point. It's time to go in and what is it in my heart that makes me jealous of this person or ticked off by this person, and how can I work that out? Because those energies are very much active, the redemption, and all of us, living in the truth and in this new reality that Hashem really, really wants to bring about. So I've been working on that, and for sure, I joined a homeschooling WhatsApp group to learn about like, how do I do this? Because it's really not just about schooling your children. It's much more about how to have this relationship with them and a structure in the home that lends to being able to homeschool them, and this whole team effort that goes into living at home when your kids are with you all the time. So I'm getting myself educated, and I'm doing some tshuva and self-work, and I'm stepping out of my comfort zone to help women in the way that is my passion. And I think in the way that I believe and feel like Hashem wants me to give over my gift that he gave to me. I'm not going to get on Facebook and start fighting with people over, Trump and is Mashiach coming? Isn't he coming? Should the Jews come to Israel? It just does, it goes nowhere. But I know it sounds kind of funny, but for me to help women look better and feel better about themselves and therefore be better influencers, I think that's what Hashem is trying to tell me. And it is kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. But I feel like I have to do it.
So how do you fit all of this in? Now the homeschooling and the business and time for yourself, and like, how do you organize your whole day now?
Yeah, so June has been super busy. The kids are not home yet. I'm learning how to do it, and then hopefully, in September I'll keep them home, because the launch of the face yoga, like getting back to my business, the detox is still in there, but like launching the new thing was in June, and doing the WhatsApp group actually entails a lot of reading and doing a lot of work on yourself. So it's like a full-time thing. So, and it happens to be that my husband, he's a real estate attorney here in Israel. So he's getting a lot more, he's getting very busy because Baruch Hashem, some people are waking up in America and they want to like buy in Israel ASAP. So I've had to help him with his business. So it's been really, it has been really busy. But it's all about, you know, setting a structure. I have, you know, I have my scheduling. Everything is scheduled in 1/2 hour or in 1 hour increments. I get up at 6, you know, I go to sleep at like 10:30, and everything is scheduled. And it's not like I'm gonna totally follow it, but the fact that it's written down and I can refer to it, or what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing now? I'm having such a good time creating posts on Facebook, but you know what? Time's up. On to the next thing. So it keeps me in line, getting up early and having a schedule and following it. I think that's all you need. And the will to not just go with the flow of getting distracted and, you know, answering WhatsApps and phone calls when you shouldn't be. Everybody's doing that. If you want to swim upstream, you're going to have to, you know, have a little bit more self-restraint, be a little bit more structured and scheduled, and go with that, even though it's hard.
Even though it's hard. So even though it's hard, I don't know, I'm always asking and looking out and seeing how it is that when everything, like you said, you want to swim upstream with all of the news and everything that's happening in the world, how do you stay positive? How do you stay focused on your dream? How do you keep that energy going all the time without, you know, having it slap you in the face every 2 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, it does. And it does bring me down. But then I remember, I'm conscious enough to be able to remember that I am on a certain program. I was programmed a long time ago, just like we all were as children. I happened to have grown up on a kibbutz till I was 10, and then we moved to America. And it was back in the days when there was no, like, there was the baby home and then the children's home. You didn't grow up with your parents. My mother was American, so she was like a newbie on kibbutz, and she was like, hold up, what? She was very unhappy with this whole thing. So not only did I grow up in this environment, but I had this mother who was like completely like flabbergasted and very unhappy with the whole thing. So let's just say I'm programmed for major negativity. And they did studies, you know, Haifa University did studies on kibbutz children, and not a good experiment. So I've had to deal with that my whole life. You know, that's a whole different, you know, talking about that, it's a whole different thing. We could talk about it for like hours. But what I do is I'm very, very conscious of the fact that I have the Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara is a mechanism built into us to bring us down. And no matter what level you're at, that mechanism kicks in at whatever amazing level you might have gotten to, and will try and bring you down in many different ways. It's a very clever mechanism. It's not just like, oh, but it's Sahara. It's like a whole thing that Hashem put in. So I have learned about that, and I'm very aware of that. So I have to constantly remember, oh, it's the Sahara, and that the programming is kicking in. The programming of, oh my God, the kids just came home and they're needy and fighting and complaining right away, and I can't deal with this. That's the programming. And then I'm like, hold on, stop the CD, okay? I can deal with this. I can even if it means I'm taking out 5 minutes and I'm going upstairs and chillaxing and I'm closing the door and I'll be with you in 5 minutes. There are solutions to everything. I can deal with this. I can turn to Hashem. Oh, right, Hashem, like, you know, oh, I'm all alone, my husband's away at work, and what am I gonna do? And no, hold on, stop. Hashem, help me, give me an idea. So, but it's a constant, I don't wanna say battle, but it is a constant challenge. So you have to stay conscious.
Yeah, exactly. Keep that up here all the time, that not to get caught up in it and forget, wait a minute, I'm separate from all of that. I need to stay focused on me. Yes, that's
right. Yeah.
So, let me get back to the face yoga. If someone wants to do this, do you need lotion, or is it just something that you just use on your face? I mean, like, is there a protocol before, you know, how do you?
Yeah. Good question. So the exercises, no lotion. You don't want your face to be, you know, all like oily, and because you use your hands a lot to, like, you know, stretch out, and you want it to stay. But for the massage part, you do need lotion, or serum, you know, some kind of an oil. So that's why I break them up to the night stuff, which is the massage, and you do it with an oil, and the exercises are during the day. But if you were to do them together, you would start with the exercises, and then you would, you know, put on some oil, and then you would do the massage and the shiatsu and the energy work with the oil. Yeah.
Describe shiatsu with your face. Like, is that different than?
Yeah. So shiatsu, you apply more pressure to your face than you would with massage, because shiatsu is all about getting the little kinks and knots out of the muscles in your face. So it's not like they're so visible, but they are. It's like this delicate dance in your face of what's going on over there. And when you have kinks and knots in the muscles of your face, which is caused by tension, you know, when you grimace or you tighten up or you just feel tension. So once you smooth them out with the shiatsu, all of a sudden you see like a difference. So the shiatsu is about applying pressure to your face. Basically, like, you make a fist and you use this part of the index finger to just, you know, smooth out your face, but with pressure. And, you know, all along, you're like taking those kinks out. So that's how the shiatsu works. The massage is not so much pressure, you know, it's more of like, oh, you know, I'm just massaging everything up. So that's like, you know, that's the difference between the two. Shiatsu for the face, there's something so fun and relaxing about it. I love it. I happen to love it.
Because it just gives you like a release. It's just really pressing and pulling. I guess.
I don't know.
You're saying kinks, like that's just kind of, once you have it, kind of it stays, and then it just kind of gets built into the fabric of your face. I never heard that.
Yeah. It's not just going to go away. Yeah. It's not. Basically what happens in your face, there's a few things. There's the muscles, you know, begin to sag. Okay. And then the skin begins to sag. And there's that the lymph that constantly flows throughout our body and also in our face, and it becomes stagnant. So the skin on your face is much thinner, you know, than on other parts of your body. So, and the lymph is right below. So if the lymph is stagnant, you're going to get this pasty, often puffy complexion, and like grayish. And it's like, what is that? People try and cover it up and then add, like, you know, some like rosy cheek stuff, but you just need to drain the lymph, and all of a sudden, like, oh, there's like a glow. So there's that. And then there's circulation also. You want everything to be like circulating properly. So that's like the energy work. And when and of course with the eating, as like the cleaner your colon is and the cleaner your lymph is, the more you have a natural light inside of you that glows, that emanates through your face when the colon and the kidneys and the liver and the lymph are clean. It's right there. It's there. You don't have to do anything. So when you do all those things, like, it all comes together. So it's not just one thing. It's not just the exercises, but wherever you start, whatever it is you start with is going to make a difference. It's going to make a visible difference.
So we're talking about uplifting and tightening and opening up the kinks. Does it also affect like wrinkles and that whole side to, you know, things?
Yeah. So again, so different organs of elimination, the cleaner they are, they show up in your face, meaning the crow's feet is a clogged liver, and the nasolabial folds over here is the colon, okay, and the nose right here is the heart. The kidneys are the bags under the eyes, the adrenals are right here, and the more depleted and clogged and dirty they are, it shows up in your face. So that's when you clean them out, everything smooths out. But the face massage definitely smooths the wrinkles out to some extent. And the exercises for sure helps, you know, smooth out the wrinkles to some extent. Now, again, it's not about looking 21 where everything's completely smooth. You can look your age, but just look healthy and radiant. And you'll still have some, you know, wrinkles in there, some laugh lines, whatever it is, but it's just going to be smoother and the complexion is going to be more even. You know, also as we get older, like our face becomes, a lot of people, their face becomes more red because again, like the circulation is very slow, the lymph is stagnant, they hold a lot of tension and anger in their face. It all shows up in your face. Face in Hebrew is panim, which is the same exact word as pnim, inside. Your panim shows your pnim, and that goes for your emotions and what's going on in there physically. Like people come to me, all I have to do is look at their face. I know exactly what needs to be cleaned out, what needs to be worked on. It all shows in the face. Yeah.
Does it have any maybe relationship to outside, the sun? Like, should they do these things outside, or should they get time outside, or should they avoid the sun because of what's going on? What do you suggest?
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of the sun. It's vitamin D is the greatest healer, immune booster. It's an upper. It gets, you know, it makes us happy and energetic. The sun is a battery that we need to recharge. So it's a shame that it's been getting such a bad rep, but that's the world of Checker that we live in. The sun is bad. Now, in Israel, you know, should you be going out, you know, at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and like tanning yourself for 2 hours? No, that's not such a good idea. But early in the morning or later in the afternoon, you absolutely need to get a half hour with no sunscreen. By the way, you know, when they did studies on skin cancer, it's mostly people who work or indoor workers and who never spend time outside. They're the ones who are getting it, not people who spend a lot of time in the sun. This is proven studies. So you must get sun. I'm very worried about people in areas where the corona lockdown is still in effect. And if they don't get that amount of sun that they normally get in the spring and summer, it's going to come back to bite them in the winter. It's not a game. You have to get it. So yeah, you do need sun, you know, obviously do it smart. Yeah, does that answer the question? It was just about the sun.
I'm wondering also, maybe, does it help at all to go and do all of this face work in the sun outside, or should you do it like against the winter?
Yeah, I think most women are comfortable doing it because some of the faces that you have to make are really funny.
Really?
As you're exercising your face, like my kids are always like, we're going to take pictures of you and then we're going to blackmail you with these pictures as I'm doing my face yoga. So most people feel comfortable doing it like in front of a mirror or in front of, like, you know, if I send them like a little quick video just to follow that I made for them. And, you know, in the comfort of their own, you know, bedroom or wherever it is they're doing it in their home. So it's just less distracting. But some form of exercise that you do every day, it has to be done outside. Something has to be done outside for sure. Yeah, and you do use your neck a lot. You do actually use your tongue a lot in face yoga. So it's like not something that you would just like go around doing outside for everybody to see.
Is there an age limit? Is there something that like older women should know? Is this for men even? I mean, can anyone do this? Are there restrictions?
Yeah, I mean, I work with women only, but for sure, it can be for men and it can be for, of course, older, absolutely. It doesn't matter what your age is. And even for young people where they don't really need it, but if you, for some reason, have a very like asymmetrical face, or if something happened, like some people sometimes they get into accidents and then like something gets off, you can use face yoga to like make your face more symmetrical, to make, like, if something happened, you know, again, I know this from people who had some accidents and something got skewed, and like slowly we worked on, you know, so that's when it would be more nogea for young people. But yeah, any age, it's a muscle. You just have to work it, and it becomes tight and strong and lifted, and you see the difference no matter what your age. Absolutely.
So there's no like something to worry about. I don't know, you know, maybe whatever concerns that someone.
Yeah, no, you should, if you have any underlying like health concerns, you should consult with the doctor before starting this. If you know, you have to take off your glasses before you do it, like don't do it with glasses, or don't do it while driving, although I have done it sometimes while I was driving, just certain things that are really easy, but Lamaisa, you shouldn't do it while you're driving. Yeah, but other than that, you know, wash your hands before you start. You're constantly touching your face. But other than that, it's really applicable to anyone and everyone.
Have you seen, besides the uplifting benefits of it, have you seen anything else that is affected? Maybe people, I don't know, gray hair turns back, you know, like maybe hair grows back because you're moving the lymph, because you're getting into all of these organs that start moving, maybe things start returning. Have you seen that?
Yeah, so not personally with any one of my clients over the years, just because, I don't know, it just wasn't, I don't remember why that didn't come up. But I have seen, well, first of all, when I went to study by Dr. Morse in Florida, it happens to be, I happened to sit down next to one of like the 3 other Israelis that were there. And this guy showed me a before picture. He was a Krav Maga master. But then he moved from Israel to America, and he kind of like gained weight and all this stuff. And he showed me a picture. He was overweight and he had very, very gray hair. And now sitting next to me, he was much thinner and his hair was almost not gray. It was such a difference. He's like, my hair just turned back to its original color. That was really amazing. And the other thing I noticed, I have noticed a lot with my clients who came for, like, let's say weight loss and detox and stuff like that, is that whereas other times that they tried to lose weight, they would always lose it like in their face and in their chest, but the stomach and like the thigh area was so hard to lose the fat over there. But when we did it the detox way, the chest basically stayed the same. The face still had like some kind of a shape to it. It wasn't like, and everything came off the stomach and the thigh area. And it was so amazing. You can lose weight in different ways and in different areas of your body that are going to be much healthier and just much like more attractive, you know, looking. And so it's really not so hard to lose it in those areas, but it has this reputation of, oh, it's so hard to lose it over there. But so I've definitely had clients telling me, wow, I used to never be able to go down stomach, thighs, and now like I'm back to my, you know, high school size, the way I used to look then, proportions. Wow. Yeah.
So I would like you to share with everyone where they can find you, how they can contact you maybe, and yeah, see like what you have to offer and maybe some of your sample videos and things that you have out there.
Yeah, okay, so again, I really just got started this month. Thank God, it has been pretty busy. My website is being worked on. It's yofified.com, but it's not up yet. I'm on Facebook, Yofified. I'm on Instagram, Yofified.Face Yoga, and there's like there are some exercises over there, and soon I'm gonna incorporate videos, like quick, you know, 2-minute videos, what to do for upper eyelid, what to do for mouth area, all that stuff. That's going to be incorporated into that. I'm just like, didn't quite get there yet. So they can definitely private message me, you know, on social media. My email is yofified@gmail.com. So yeah,
okay.
that's
this isn't like it's not only a general thing. You can actually very specifically get into certain spots with exercise.
Oh, absolutely. You could change the shape of your nose.
Oh my God.
You could, again, like, yeah, like I said before, you can make your face more symmetrical. You can target, people come to me, but they have specific areas that really bother them. Like one person will come and everything is basically okay, but the bags under their eyes are like, you know, they hate it. Or another person will have like, you know, very, very deep, you know, the nasolabial folds, and that's really bothering them. So we do a general face workout, but then we target. Some people just like to target everything. Other people, I give them extra exercises. Yeah, upper eyelid, forehead, cheekbones, everything, neck, everything you can target. Yeah.
So inspiring. That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, and right now I am doing one-on-ones, and I am doing some classes, which is what I call a master class, which is a lot of like face yoga and the massage. We go through everything, the massage, shiatsu, everything like that. And I give some wellness tips as far as eating and drinking and lifestyle habits. And they get a clean eating guide and good skin guide all in one to take home with them. So that would be a class. I haven't like created any classes, but I have been invited to give some classes. So that's also coming up, the classes and the one-on-ones I'm doing.
So if they want to join one of those classes, they can contact you and then you can tell them where.
Yeah. They can join a class, they can create a class, and they can do one-on-one. And I also offer 20-minute free discovery calls where you call me, you tell me like what you're looking for. We see if it's a match. And if it is, then bevakasha, you can book me.
That's awesome. So good luck with all of this. It sounds very exciting.
Thanks, Hava.
So thank you for joining us. And thank you for your time. And it sounds very exciting. I can't wait to see where this is going for you. So have a great day, everyone. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.